Hi everyone, Cheryl here. I'm back. Okay, so this is now part 4. Okay, so for this piece right here, for this part, I'm finishing up with my actual book, the covers for the book. So what I'm doing now is I'm actually going to adhere the lining. What I did was I went ahead and I cut my pieces down and applied score tape. So what I did was I left the 12 by 12 piece and then I cut a smaller piece. And what this actually measured out to be was just under 5.5. So it's that little tiny tick mark, the one that's at the 16th point. So I cut it down to that. I probably could have cut it down just slightly under, but that's what I cut it to. So what I did was, I outlined these pieces, the lining pieces. I only outlined that with score tape. I didn't actually go in and put the score tape on the inside parts, only because I did that on the inside of the book. Because I only put the score tape only on the chipboard pieces, because I didn't want it to go actually in the grooves, okay? And when you put the score tape here, if I were to go down, you know, through the middle here and put it everywhere, I couldn't guarantee that I wouldn't get it right here in this groove in the corner where the book actually folds, okay? So again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it so that my lining connects on the back cover, okay? So again, if you guys want to measure it out so that it's even and it meets right in the middle because it's covered up by the hinge mechanism, by all means, go right ahead. For me, I usually have it meet up here at the end because I put pockets right here. You'll still see the seam, but most people don't pay attention to it that much. So that's just what I do. Okay, so let me go ahead, and all I'm going to do is just look at this real quick so I know where to stop. I won't take this tape off yet. I'll take the rest of these pieces down on this end off first. Okay. And so that's all I'm doing now is just taking the score tape off. I hope I haven't been jumping around on you guys. I hope I've been pretty much staying on topic. And you guys are following this pretty well. Okay, so let's see. And if you guys do use this tutorial, please let me know. Just send me a note. I do try to watch videos. I usually watch them on the weekend. I don't always get to everyone's video because I am subscribed to a lot of people. But I do try. I really do try to watch all of the videos that you guys put out. But if you do use this tutorial, just link it back or send me a private message or just whatever with the link to your video, because I would like to see what you guys create. You know, I get inspiration from everywhere and from everyone, you know, just on what to do and, you know, new projects that I have, you know, in the mix that I plan to work on or want to work on. I just love seeing other people's projects and what they do. So, okay, so all I'm doing now is I'm actually just lining it up and centering it to make sure that it is on straight, because I am notorious for putting stuff on crooked and also screwing one thing up at least on every project. Always screw something up. Never fails. Okay, so I've stuck this one down. And so when you stick it down, it is quite stiff because, of course, you have the glue. All I'm going to do is just start flexing the book back in place. Okay? And that's important. You do need to start flexing the book back in place once you adhere it down, because you just need it to take its shape again. Okay? And that's all I'm doing is flexing it back in place. All right? So, again, there's the formation of your book. And now, because it has more layers, it doesn't flop down like it was before. And now it's actually taking shape and holding its shape. Okay? I know one of my projects, I think it was the Paris project, the Très Chic. It was the Paris theme project that I did. I know with that one, I put ribbon on the inside. I put ribbon to line the inside first before I actually stuck down my lining, because I wanted to be able to tie close the book. And so that's what you do if you want to put ribbon down. You put your ribbon down first before you actually put your lining down. So just a tip for anyone if that's, you know, something that you want to do. All right, so now for this next piece, all I'm doing is just measuring it out. And as usual, I screwed something up, because if you see, it goes down. The top part here, it starts to go down a little bit. You can't tell there, but you can definitely tell down here. So, like I said, guys, something is always crooked in one of my projects, and I always screw something up. So, yep, that's just me. There's nothing I can do about that one. Okay, this one is a little too long, and that's why I didn't want to take the tape off, because I wanted to make sure that I hadn't misjudged the measurements. Okay. Okay. All right, so bear with me one moment. I'm going to get this out the way. So I'll just measure this really quickly one more time. Okay, this will work. I'm actually going to, because I need to cover up these pieces right here because I misjudged when I mitered. I'm actually going to cover up the inside of this book with some ribbon right along the inside to cover that piece up. So, or should I say to cover those pieces up. So I'm actually going to glue this up just a little bit. So it's going to be off, but I'm going to cover it up so you actually won't be able to tell that it's off. All right, so here we go. Just taking the tape off. Sorry about that. Did not mean to move the camera. And lift this up. Okay. All right. So let's stick this down. Come on, Cheryl. Alright guys, like I said, it's not me if I don't rip something up. Or, not that I don't rip it up, that I don't screw it up. Because I totally stuck that down wrong. Sorry about that. Alright, why am I having such an issue tonight? I have no idea what the problem is. Alright guys. I'm so gonna have to show you guys what I do once I finish this. After I line this. But because this is totally crooked on this end. I couldn't even play that off if I wanted to. But I am not redoing this over. That's the beauty of scrapbooking. When you make a mistake, you cover it up with something else. So, I'm just flexing the book again just because I want to make sure. Okay, so let me go ahead and go with, show you guys the binding. Okay, I'll show you guys with the binding how I do the binding, and then to stick that down, and then what I'll do is I will come back and let's see, what will that be? A part 5 and show you what I do. Well, we'll see if we need a part 5. We may not, because all it is just decorating the front after that, because this is really pretty much all you guys need for the most part. So probably the next video that you see, because this will be the end, because this is part 4. Excuse me, the next video that you guys will see will be the finished product of this. So you'll be able to see what I did to obviously cover up my mistakes. But then also just to take you through the book as well, okay? So what I did was on my binding for this piece here, remember we made these in part 2, okay? So what I want to do now is I've lined the back of this with some score tape already, just to save some time. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take some Tyvek, and I'm going to adhere the Tyvek to the back of this, because what I'm going to do once I adhere the Tyvek is go ahead and adhere this down. Okay, now keep in mind that you're going to need to fold this up just so you can kind of get a gauge or know exactly where this is supposed to go, if you guys can see what I'm talking about. Okay, only because with your binding, I'm sorry, not with your binding, with your book, because you've already shaped your book, and with the lining on the inside, it's kind of hard to tell where something stops and where something begins, or even to see, you know, where your front cover is as opposed to your back cover, because everything is blending so seamlessly. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'll take this off, tape off here, and then I'll go ahead and stick the Tyvek down. And the reason why we use Tyvek is just so that it gives it a little bit more flexibility. Well, no, not flexibility. It just makes it a stronger hold, okay? Because this stuff does not rip easily at all. And you can pick this up from Walmart. I know you can buy it, I believe it, like Office Depot and, you know, any of the office supply stores. And what you do is you just buy the Tyvek envelopes, and we just cut them up into strips. So this one is actually 5 7/8 by 2.5, I believe. It may be just under 2.5. But definitely check your measurements before you cut it. Okay, so just check your measurements. You can actually cut it to be the same size or just under the size of your piece here. Okay, so all I'm going to do is I am going to stick it down. I'm just going to try to center it to make sure that I don't have any pieces hanging over. Okay, and you just stick it down and smooth it out. Let's see, I'll just smooth it out. Go this way just to make sure. Okay, so now that I have this all stuck down right here with this Tyvek here, what I'm going to do now is put score tape on this piece here, and once I do that, I'll be able to stick it down. Okay, let's see. So hopefully you guys are able to follow this without any problems. And again, Tyvek you can pick up pretty much anywhere. I know they have this at, I believe they have it at Walmart. I believe they have it at Staples. I believe they have it at Office Depot. Any office supply place, any place that sells office supplies, for the most part, you'll be able to pick these up. And then all you have to do is just cut them up, and it will definitely strengthen your project. It's late. I must be getting sleepy. Okay, which is probably one of the reasons why I made that mistake, but you know, we'll be all right. Okay, so I'm just going to take the lining off, and if you see right there, that lifted up right there, that's okay. I can just put some some more score tape to adhere that down. Okay. Because I don't want this to lift up at all. Need it to stay put, and that's all I do. This will happen from time to time where you put some Tyvek down and then it'll turn around and lift up on you. It doesn't always happen, but it does happen sometimes, and when it does, I just stick it right back down with some more tape. Okay, just to kind of hold it in place, because you don't want this to go anywhere. Okay, really? Did I just cut a bad piece? I must have. Alright. Let me stick the other piece down because obviously this one does not want to stay. Alright. So, that's all I'm going to do is just stick another piece down. I must have cut a bad, or cut a piece that was already coming up or something. Because that usually does not happen, at least, you know, where all of it comes up. Usually just a little bit, but if it does come up, all I do is just cut another piece of tie back and stick it right on top of that piece. That just makes it that much stronger. And that's usually all I do. Because if it wants to come up, I'd rather, you know, lift it up and stick another piece right on top of it rather than stick it down, you know, to my book and then the whole piece comes up. You know what I mean? So, I'm saying, you know what I mean? Like, you guys can answer me back. But at any rate, that's usually what I do. Because this has happened before where, you know, it lifted up. And sometimes I try to take all of it off or take as much of it off as I can so that I know that it's not coming up later. Okay? All right, so I've gotten most of it up. So I'm just going to take the tape off of this other piece that I cut because I cut two pieces. And then I'm going to stick this down. And then we'll put some more tape on this. Okay, so here we go. And just smooth this down. Alright. So, now that I've done that, I'm going to stick some more score tape on the back of this, and then we should be good to go. Okay. Alright, I take that back. We are going to have a part 5, but the part 5 will probably be tomorrow evening once I get in from work. I'll go ahead and put that piece, and all that is just adhering your pages to this binding piece, okay? And then part 5 should really be the last one, because after that, the only thing I'm going to do is I'll do a video of the actual finished book. So, you know, you as guides can see it, or whomever wants to see the finished piece. Okay? So again, I'm just putting tape down here. And then I can adhere this down. Alright, so I'm just going to smooth this in. And then take these pieces off. Now again, remember when you stick this down, you actually want to center this. You know, you don't want it too far up, you don't want it too far down. You need to try to make sure that you get this in the right space. And stick just another small piece right on here, the edge, because I folded that up without realizing it. Okay. Alrighty. So, here we go. Again, I would just fold this up just so you can see. And I'm actually going to turn this to the side only because it'll make it just a little easier. And I usually, honestly, I just eyeball it. And these stripes are not making it easy for me, but gonna try. They make it a little easy, but not too easy, if that makes any sense. It makes it a little easy from the standpoint you can tell, you know, how to line it up with the stripes because you'll know whether or not you are even. However, they can tell you that from the side, but not from the top to bottom. Alright, I think I am a little crooked, but there we go. Alright, and then I usually just reinforce that just like this to make sure you get a good stick. And I will be honest, usually I make my book covers, you know, and the housing for my book, I stick the binding down and then I let it sit overnight. Only because I just want to make sure that it has a really good stick before I actually adhere my pages. I don't always get a chance to do that, but for some reason I try to. I'm not really sure if it actually makes a difference or not. I'm not sure that it does, because like I said, I've sometimes, the majority of the time I try to let it sit overnight. A lot of times there are times that it doesn't sit overnight, that I go ahead and adhere it right away. But sometimes I do. Okay, and so that's it. So if you look now, your book has taken shape completely. And you guys can actually go ahead and adhere the inside pieces, your actual pages, to the binding. But like I said, I'm going to come back with a part 5. Yeah. So I'll come back with part 5. But again, what I'll do is I will do that one tomorrow, Monday evening, once I get off work. Once I get home, I'll go ahead and do that, because that'll be one of the last things that I'll do. And then what I'll do is I'll decorate the front of the book and everything like that off camera, because I'm not going to do that on camera, because I still got to kind of figure out what it is I want to do. But then once I'm done and I adhere the ribbon for the spine, which is why this is crafts. Now again, you guys don't have to use craft cardstock. You can use some other pattern paper. You can use trim, whatever it is that you guys want to do. I'm actually going to use some ribbon that I have. I used it for the baby shower that I went to yesterday. I put it on that book, and it actually turned out so super cute. I took pictures of that book. I didn't actually get a chance to make a video, but I plan to actually decorate this one exactly the same way, so you guys will be able to see what I did, or almost the same way. There's a couple materials that I ran out of, so. But at any rate, thank you guys for hanging in there with me. Thank you everyone who has made comments. I hope this is helping. Again, let me know if you guys have any questions, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.